so slide 20 is where you should be. All right. Yeah, we talked about urban, didn't we?
No.
Okay, you're right. Let's look at it.
Yeah, we talked about.
Okay, so it gave us examples of things that were urban. Okay, so it said Boston, New York City, Philadelphia. What do we know about those things that could give us a definition of urban? Chloe?
I never got to fill one through anything else.
Is it because you weren't? Yeah, it's because you weren't here. Do you have something to say about this one though? It's okay if you weren't here for it. Okay. I don't expect you to have this whole slideshow done when you weren't here. What up, Case?
Crowded places.
Okay, crowded places. What makes you say that?
Because it said. Wait.
Okay, so Case is saying urban places must be crowded places.
Big areas.
Because why?
Many Americans were flocking to urban places.
Okay, so many people are going there.
Factory work.
Very good. Many people are going there. All right, what else, Noah?
Big areas.
Okay.
Because I know that New York and Philadelphia are really big areas.
Okay, well, honestly, they have a lot of people there, but New York is really not that big.
Yeah, it's hard to
New
cram
York
all them
City
people.
is really not that big. Like, it's only a few miles. But they have a lot of people. So, like you said, yes.
Seems bigger.
Huh?
It seems bigger.
It seems bigger. Yes. So, crowded places, yes. Big
Areas.
big areas, big cities, yes.
Yes, big
Crowded places, yes.
big
Very
areas
good.
As in a lot of people.
Yes. City with a lot of people. I agree. So I love the way that you got this figured out. You just walked in. Do you have this with me? Are you working on it with me? Tyler? Yeah, city area. Very good. Emily? There you go. What?
A lot of people in one city.
Yeah, having a lot of people in one city, a huge population is fine with me. So once you get this done, then go to slide 20 and we'll start talking about inference and context clues. What is it?
Isn't it urban, suburban, and rural?
Yeah, those are three different types of areas, yeah.
Suburban's like a medium area.
Suburban is medium and then rural is kind of country, yeah, like you said. Very good. What is it,
We
Webster?
live in a rural area.
Okay, so antonyms give us clues. Like it might say, we use those contrasting transition words up there. So we said sometimes it might say however, sometimes it might say but, sometimes it might say on the other hand. That lets you know that an antonym is coming. An inference though, let's look at inference. It doesn't have anything necessarily specific clues that are going to let you know. You're going to have to figure it out. We've been talking about inferences for the entire school year, y'all. We've been talking about inferences. The author is not going to tell you straight up every single time what he or she is trying to say. Sometimes they want you to read between the lines and try to figure it out by yourself. And so that's what's happening when you have to make an inference. So it has text evidence clues, but you might have to use some of your background knowledge as well to make an inference. We've talked about that before. Sometimes you have to use what you already know about a topic to help figure this out. So I'm going to look at these two with you, and I'm going to talk you through my thinking that can lead us to the answer, and then I want you to practice your thinking that can lead us to the answer. Your hands are up. You too. What do you need?
I know what the word.
Okay, but I don't want you to tell me right now.
It ain't all.
Click back, click undo, go back to this version history up here, where it says last edit was such and such time ago, and then if you click on it, it can bring you back to when the last time you messed with it was. Okay? So, let's look at cumbersome. Some of us have heard this word before, some of us have not, but let's look at it. Even if we feel like we know what it is, we still got to be able to pick out the clues. So, it says, when Maria started out on her day full of errands, her backpack was nearly empty. She had almost forgotten that it was on her back, but after a trip to 5 shops and the grocery store, it had become quite cumbersome. So cumbersome is describing her backpack here. So in this case, it's an adjective to describe her backpack, okay? It says she'd had to stop and rest several times on the way home. She also needed to rearrange the bag's contents several times to keep them from poking her in the back. So y'all, I know that some of y'all think you know what it means, but some of us need me to walk through my thinking. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm looking at this word that I've never heard before. And I need to look around it to figure out what it means. Where do I look for context clues? Y'all can tell me.
In the front.
Okay, in front or
Around it.
behind, around it. Yes, in the text. So in front and around. So I'm looking at the beginning of this passage, and it says the backpack was empty. At the end of the passage, we're describing the backpack as cumbersome. So the beginning it's empty, at the end it's cumbersome. Okay, that's a clue. It says she went to 5 shops and the grocery store. So I'm assuming she's bought things at all of those shops. That's some of my background knowledge. Why are you going if you're not really buying anything? Then it says she had. So well, true that. So then after it says she had to rest several times. So that does let me know that she's bought something, because now her backpack's got stuff in it, and it's kind of getting heavy. She's gonna have to stop and take a break because it's that heavy. Then it says she also had to rearrange what she actually bought. So those are all clues that can lead me to the definition of cumbersome. It's got to be meaning it's full. It's got to be meaning it's probably heavy.
You just picked the 2 I just put.
Well, but that's where I'm getting this from. So I'm getting these clues that are leading me to this. If your hand is up, your ear is closed. I know we just said what I know that you might know what it means, but some of us need to be walked through how we figured it out. Okay? So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just walking through how we figured it out. The clues that we found were, at first it was empty, now it's cumbersome. She went to 5 stores in the grocery store. She's bought stuff. It's heavy now because she's got to stop and take a break. It's full now because she's got to stop and rearrange. So cumbersome has got to mean full, heavy, big, hard to carry. Those are all things that probably mean the same as cumbersome. Now, I told y'all, when we pick out context clues, we might not pick out the dictionary definition. But as long as we know about what that word means in this passage, we're in good shape. So like you said, Adeline, that's what you picked too. Good. Okay? I'm going to make my text a little bit bigger so that I can write down here and y'all can see what I'm writing. So I'm going to write cumbersome. And then I'm going to go ahead and put what we just said. So heavy, large, hard to carry. Well, thinking about, it's talking about the backpack as being cumbersome. But I wouldn't necessarily say that I wear a backpack all day, every day. So I wouldn't say that that's, like, cumbersome is a way that I would describe. Like this sweatshirt right now, I wouldn't say that this could be cumbersome. It's going to be, like, something that you're holding on to. What is it, Kay?
Very nearly full.
Like I just walked you through my clues. I just walked you through my definition. So if your hand is up right now because you're trying to tell me what it means, I need you to put it down. Because that's not what, we just got what it means. I'm going to let you do some on your own, and then I'm going to ask for your answers. But right now, we're just trying to pick out, how did I get these clues? Because this is an inference. It's not going to say a synonym. It's not going to say an antonym. This is maybe the hardest kind of clue to figure out. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right now. I am going to let y'all answer some on your own. But right now, we just got to talk about how are we even getting these answers? How are we even figuring this out? Okay, we got to use the clues in the text. We got to use our background knowledge. Let's look at pedestrians. Let's check it out. Y'all ready to look at pedestrians? Thumbs up when you're ready. Thank you, Macy. Hey, look what you got, girl. She right here.
send anything for her?
Oh. Yep. I thought you had Macy's book.
No.
I knew it. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Does she have her computer?
I don't know. I asked her.
Have you gone to Johnson's room yet?
Yeah, I don't know if she. I sent her a text, her mom a text, and see if she's
Okay. Because like I'm gonna put videos on Google Classroom every day. That's really like the main idea here is that I need her to be looking at Google because I'm gonna be videotaping myself like I'm doing right now. No, it's fine. I totally forgot to. I'm gonna be videoing myself teaching this stuff, and then she can go watch it, and it can just make sense because I think she's gonna be lost as a goose if she starts like, trying to do work when she's not even, seen the lesson. Like these pages are not gonna make sense until she sees what we're doing with them.
Okay.
And she can have this. And then, is it 2 weeks?
Yeah, 14th should be. She should be over 14th.
Cool. So if she gets her computer, then that will be.
Okay. She needs. Okay.
Those are the papers we're gonna use. But if she has her computer, it's gonna be.
Got it.
A-okay. Thank you. Okay. Thumbs up if you're ready to look at pedestrians. All right, let's look at it. Again, I'm going to walk you through my thinking here, and then I'm going to turn you loose.
I
Chloe,
didn't even know what that word was.
you about to lose your chair. A number of residents have written letters to the city council in regards to the construction and repaving going on downtown. The central concerns of the letter had been for the safety of pedestrians. So, if I'm looking for the safety, it's got to be of like a person or an animal or something like that, okay? So a pedestrian's got to be a living thing because I'm worried about its safety. So it's a noun and it's got to be a living thing. I don't know if it's a person or an animal, but we'll see with our clues, okay? It says the construction has led to a number of sidewalks being closed. Some of the freshly paved roads have even covered over sidewalks. They have yet to be repainted. So we're worried about a person or thing a living thing who's using the sidewalks. Who uses sidewalks? People. Okay. Dogs, cats. Okay. So it says there that this is going on downtown, and we're worried about the sidewalks. If you live like downtown, you probably are not driving all around. I'm using my background knowledge here. It doesn't say that in the text, but I'm using my background knowledge. People who live in big cities, they don't usually get around by driving cars because everything is very close together. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm just using my background knowledge. Well, if I'm worried about something safety, it's probably about a person, in this case, who is using the sidewalks as a means to get around. So a person walking, that's probably what a pedestrian is. Do you see how I use the clues to figure that out? So that's what I'm going to write down, y'all. Do what, Kevin? Okay, well, what is a citizen?
A person.
It's a person.
People.
Citizens are people.
Exactly. So citizens are people. So yes, a pedestrian is probably a citizen who walks. Or you could say that on your definition
It's
if
just
you
a
want to.
fancier word.
So a person who walks in order to get around. Emily, I'm about to make it a little bigger for you to see. Do y'all see my thinking? That's my point. If some of you already knew this word, I'm happy about it. But I want you to be able to see the clues that I picked out in the text that led me to that definition. If you are finished with 20, go ahead and look at 21. And it is compensated. Go ahead and look at compensated and start seeing if you can figure out what that means. Huh? It does a little bit. basically you guys can be looking at 21 through 23, and then we'll talk about those in a minute. 21 through 23, and we'll talk about those in a minute.